Good to hear that someone is
What?
taking up the cause
I missed the notice that today is National Naked Day.
for a change.
I'm sorry.
The last of the Daedra have been driven
Oops.
I've
Oh
had
well.
others say the same.
out. The Count's arms is a
Hello there, my YouTube friends and fans. Welcome to Oblivion Remastered. Man, I so enjoyed this game. I enjoyed every single minute of it, including the box and everything that came with it. This game is absolutely incredible. So I finally finished it. It took me 178 hours and 57 minutes to complete it. Well, complete it to the point where I have done all the achievements. I don't usually care about achievements, but I have lately noticed that if you don't know about certain achievements, you actually miss out on certain quests or certain cool things that you can do in a game. So I thought I may better pay some attention to the achievements here. And yes, it actually did help me find some things that I would otherwise not have known existed. And so I was like making it my goal to actually do them all. And I'm really glad I did. And this has nothing to do with bragging or anything, because anyone can do those. They're not hard to do. But I do recommend to anyone to actually do them, even if you're not into achievements, just because you will find some really cool things. And even after buying the biggest house in the game, I still came here over and over because to me, this is still the most cozy place here in Bravil. And for at least 100 hours of gameplay, I used the same 3 weapons, all of them which I found. I never put any enchantments on any of my weapons because I found so many great ones. So why do that? And why fix things that are not broken, right? So this Mace of Dynamo came with a soul trap and a shock damage, which was awesome. So I could just trap my souls whenever I needed to. Then we have the Bow of Inferno, which has fire damage. Also just came like that, tried it out, loved it. It's an amazing bow, but there's many other bows. Sufferthorn, that's a little knife that I found. Nice little hack and slash knife, does a lot of damage, but requires a lot of recharging. Worth it though. So for the magic, I used also just a few. Blessing of Talos, which I got due to a quest, and it's the only protective one I used. And then I used Heal Minor Wounds, which I then upgraded to Heal Superior Wounds, which was super awesome to have. Once I had that, I didn't need any healing potions anymore, or barely needed them. Clairvoyance, self-explanatory. Ease of Burden, super important, which I upgraded to Pack Mule, 150 extra pounds that you can carry. If you combine it with Blessing of Talos, you can carry even more because it adds strength. And then of course, open easy lock, open average lock, open hard lock. But I barely use that because you could just use the auto attempt and it needs less and less lockpicks over time. And then for a little bit, I used the Soul Trap spell until I found the mace that came with a Soul Trap enchantment, and I no longer needed this spell. And oh yeah, what's also good to have is some sort of an invisibility spell, because there's some quests where you have to be unnoticed, and they actually work really well combined with sneaking skills. If you work them up, you can just sneak in and out. Nobody even will know you're there. So that's basically it. You need about 7 spells. Everything else is just stuff to play around with. Absolutely not needed. Just fluff. Another thing that's not needed are those sigil stones. I mean, I did not know what those are. I just collected them. You can't sell them. They have no value. I didn't know what to do with them. So I just stuck them into a trunk, and way later, like almost at the end of the game, found out that you can use them to enchant your weapons. But for me, that was like absolutely redundant because you find so many amazing enchanted weapons. So this is like, why would you need this? I don't know. I didn't see any need for those, but it's cool to have a collection of them and you can get many more. But I got bored with this after a while. And then I found this really cool helmet among hundreds of cool helmets, but this was pretty much the coolest I found, but I never wore it because I was afraid to scare the people of Oblivion, and so I just stuck with my regular outfit, which also had the best enchantments on it. And did you know that you can actually decorate your house with stuff that you find in the world? Well, you know, Bethesda didn't do such a great job, or didn't really give us the option to do much with that, because it takes a lot of trial and error to place something, and then a lot of times when you just got it right and you want to put something next to it, that item next to it tosses over the other item, and then you have to kind of start from scratch. But I had fun fiddling around with this for a little while. I made this house pretty cozy doing this, but yeah, it could be way better, of course. I got it! And at the beginning of the game, you get a free horse, which I lost several times, always found it again. Eventually, it never came back, and I knew it died. And I was really sad, and I ran around without a horse for many, many, many hours, probably at least 50 hours. And then I was like, I want a horse again. So I bought a black one right there with armor on it again. And then as soon as I had it and I used it for maybe a couple days, I got a new horse from a quest, which is even way better. So I kind of was like, that was a waste. So this guy, or her, is called Shadowmere. And it's a really strong horse, supposedly. Fast, strong, everything. And I have to admit, this horse never got hurt. And it actually killed some of the enemies for me, which was super awesome. So it might happen that you too buy a horse and then all of a sudden get this horse. So it is what it is. But you get so much money at the end of the game where it doesn't really matter anymore. In my last video, I tried the 1 Minotaur and the 2 Minotaur challenge. And then of course I had to go in and try the 3 Minotaur challenge, because you get a lot of money doing this. And as you can see here, if you are an archer, this is extremely easy. Like everything else is easy as an archer. Best class in this game for sure. Look at that. You can literally just toy with them. That's what I basically did with all the enemies in the game. Rarely had to use another weapon. It just works like so, and you find so many different arrows to play around with. It is so much fun to use bow and arrow. And I know some people may be more into swords and stuff, but I'm telling you, if you want to have a good time in this game, be an archer. Boom, down. And so how much do you actually get for doing this whole thing? 4,170 gold for like 1 minute of effort, and you can do this every week. The only creatures that gave me grief in this game are those wraiths. I don't even know how you say that really, and I thought I had to show that because this guy looks so creepy in the water here. But they can really give you trouble when you kind of even mid-game. But after a while, even they became easy and were no longer scary. And then the biggest cowards in this game are really the mages. You know, here I am in some kind of arena type situation. I was like, oh, should I be scared? Oh, he is the mighty of the mightiest mages. Oh my god, let me try and see if whatever I did with any other mage is just kind of shoot some arrows into him for a little bit. Worked super well. And all the mages always try to look so intimidating by summoning whatever they're summoning, but just ignore whatever they summon and focus on the actual mage, because as soon as you take the mage down, whatever they summon dies with them, and it becomes like a laughable matter. Look at this fierceful big guy. Meet my little knife. Come on. Just putting some Blessing of Talos on. Wasn't really actually needed. He's already down. And my helper, he was really the best. He was giving me so much to laugh, so much fun. And we just accidentally ended up here on what I think is the tallest mountain in the game. And there is a tower up there that I always saw. And I was like, what is actually in here? I kind of, before I went in, I was kind of looking around to see if I didn't miss anything. And I'm glad I did, because when you actually come down here, just below the mountain, you find this box. And this box actually includes the key to get in there. Something that I didn't even know, because I never tried to open the door, so I never knew I needed a key. I found it, I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. So you can see where this mountain is, or this spire, what it's called here, the frost crag spire. And yeah, so what is it really? Well, let's see. It's actually nothing exciting as I was kind of hoping, so that's why I thought I'd put it in the video. It's not really a spoiler. It is really just another like fancy house that you can use and buy furniture for. It's kind of like a magic house where you can summon creatures here, as you can see. You can do some enchanting here of the altars. I never did this. I never had a need for this. I was like, why? I mean, this is all just play around stuff that you really don't need, but you can do it if you like to play around with stuff. And then I don't know what those circles are for. I think that's if you summon something. And then with this portal, you can get onto a different floor. And that's kind of why when I realized that this is basically just another house or home that you can own. Yeah, and then back here is, oh, there's a bed. Yeah, you can sleep here too. Looks pretty cozy. There's a chest where you can put your stuff. Another indication that this is kind of basically just your house. And then you can read this purple book here, which gives you alchemy skill increase. The other ones don't do anything. I tried all of them. And then over here, there is a garden, which is kind of like in a dome. It's quite cool. Some indoor garden with a lot of herbs and things that you can use to make potions with. Something that I never really had much interest in because I didn't need it. But yeah, that's that for people who like to make potions. Well, I made some healing potions at the beginning until I found so many that I didn't have to make them anymore. And then there's a door here, which leads you out to, if you can call this a balcony, kind of like a scary balcony, because it's got no railing and it's got those like roundels, whatever you call them, which let you travel to all the mages guilds in all the different cities. Cool, but I don't know if I'm ever gonna hang out up here, so I don't know. Just another gimmicky thing that Bethesda added for those who like gimmicky things. And then when you go down again, you find another portal that actually takes you down to the basement, which was totally unexpected. I was like, oh, there's one more level. What the hell is this? It's quite dark down here. It's super frosty, and it's just filled with a bunch of chests. Each one of them has a little bit something in it, but nothing important or valuable. And then it also comes with those little pets that are friendly, that are usually attacking you out in the world. So I figured that this place is mostly important for people that are at the beginning of the game before they have access to the Arcane University. But I found this place way, way later in the game. And there's many different houses you can buy, but this one was just too creepy for me. I was like, I don't know, why would I need this house? I don't really like it. There's something creepy about it that just gives me the shivers, and I don't know, I don't want to buy it. I procrastinated on this really long, also because I didn't have the money at the beginning. And then when I became super rich, I was like, let me take another look at this house. Maybe I'm just gonna buy it so I can take a look inside. I'm just curious to see what it looks inside. And I'm actually not gonna go show you that because this is actually connected to a quest, which is quite cool. But in case you wonder where you purchase it, when you come from one of the gates, you could just go into this blue door here, and then you find this guy over here, this guy. And then he says it's 5,000, so which is not too bad if you like mid-game. And yeah, I suggest you go ahead and do that.
Excuse me, I must attend to those pressing matters I spoke of earlier.
And at the end of the game, after I finished, I decided to also buy this house here in Cheydinhall, which I didn't really like. It also felt a little creepy to me, but I had so much money and I just wanted to spend it. So I thought, what the heck, I'm just gonna go and do it. So I wanted to look inside. And yeah, it's another house that's super dark inside. I don't know why they make all the houses so dark inside. They would be so much prettier if there was some more windows with lights coming in, especially during the day. And it's got this really weird bedroom here, which is like, what? Is that like a New York City apartment or something? It's freaking tight. Look at this. I was like, okay, I'm glad this was not my primary home because, I don't know. But I thought, let's go and buy some furniture and see what this house looks like if we add all this furniture to it.
A bargain at...
And there was so much. I was like, how's this all gonna fit in the house? But here we go. Cha-ching, 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 1,500 each one. We got it all. That better be good. That cost me a bunch of money. Wow. What a difference some furniture makes, huh? Again, just like the big house. I am pleasantly surprised. I'm like, okay, this doesn't look like a creepy mansion anymore. This actually looks super cozy. Well, this is not supposed to be the creepy mansion, but empty. This house just creeped me out. I don't know about you. That's just me. Oh, look, they put just cute little knickknacks, and then I'm curious about this weird bedroom. Wow. And it actually looks cozy now. I could imagine sleeping here. Well, look at the high ceilings. Isn't that crazy? It's still got a little bit of a creep effect to it, but definitely a lot better. A lot of wasted space up there. But yeah, that's it. And with that, I now own 4 houses. I don't know if there's more. There might be more. Yeah, there is actually more. But I'm good. I think I got the ones that interested me. Here is the last one I purchased in Cheydinhall, in case you're interested. And when you finish the game, you are being told that you earned an Imperial Dragon armor, whatever that is. And they say they have to make it first. So it takes 2 weeks for them to make it. You have to just come back after 2 weeks to pick it up. And so I did a lot of stuff in the meantime. And then I was like, I don't know if it's been 2 weeks yet or not. Let's just come here and see. I assumed the armory is by the Imperial prison, and it actually is. I found it right away. It's not hard to find. It's this entrance here, and then this door here, right by the Imperial prison. And as I touch the door, it says the armor is ready. So what good timing it is, huh? I mean, I was just guessing the 2 weeks are over, and they were just over when I came here. So when you get into the armory here, there's a lot of armor and a lot of stuff here. So at first I was like, is anyone here that hands me the armor? But no, there is nobody here. You can just roam around like in a store by yourself. And then I found it. It's right here. You can pick up your armor, all of it, and then try it on. And to my surprise, the armor is actually not heavy at all. It looks super heavy. I'm someone who always likes light armor because I want to be able to move fast and carry a lot of stuff. So I was like, this is really cool. I might just actually use this armor for good. So let's see what it looks like. Oh, wow. That looks like crazy. I mean, it's pretty, but I don't know if I want to walk around like this. It looks hot and uncomfortable for sure. And also, I think you can forget sneaking around with this thing because I imagine that this makes a lot of rattling noises and stuff. So yeah, no. I mean, thank you so much for giving this to me, but I'm probably just gonna put this into my display cases at my expensive house. But each part of it actually has a protection of different types. So resist poison, shock, fire, frost, you name it. So definitely could be a very convenient armor to have. And here it is, when you just have it on outside in third person. I always played in first person, so I couldn't really see that anyway. And then also, why do they give it to you at the end of the game when you actually don't need it anymore? I don't know. Well, maybe it's if you do the DLCs before the ending, which I did not do. But then it would make sense, I guess. Speaking of, when you're in Bravil and you go over to this island, you find something called a strange door. You might not be able to get in right away. You may have to wait to level until you leveled up a little bit. At least that happened to me. And then I came back later because I really wanted to know what's behind this glowing door. They were saying people who go there don't come back or come back crazy.
You can't see me. You can't see me. Neither can he. No one can see me.
Yeah, definitely crazy.
Stay away from me. You've already spent too much time over there.
Yes, I did. Well, first time I went in here, I actually expected to just find a little quest to complete and that's it. But then I was like, wait a minute. This is a whole new world. And then I looked it up and I'm like, oh, that's actually a DLC. What? The DLC is called Shivering Islands and it has its own set of achievements. And at the beginning, I was kind of concerned that I can't get out of this DLC and continue my main story. But yes, you can actually get in and out of this DLC as many times as you want. So I did a lot of this DLC, went back to do the main story, came back here, went back and forth. Look at how beautiful it is. This world actually many times reminded me of Elden Ring. It's got the same type of creatures in it and really cool worlds. Minus the stressful boss fight. So if you were always interested in Elden Ring but didn't care for the boss fights, then you will be right at home here. And on this island there are so many cool and pretty things to see that so many times you just wished Bethesda would have added photo mode. I mean, overall the whole game would have been nice with photo mode, because photo mode you can choose different angles and different lighting, and this game is just so pretty. Why did they not add photo mode? Look at the cool kind of mushroom type flowers or mushrooms or whatever they are have here. And yes, there's so many more plants you can collect here if you into making potions. And here I was just kind of trying. I usually go into third person when I try to take a screenshot. And then of course, I always get pestered by the enemies because there's never a quiet moment here. There's very few moments where you can actually fast travel or have the time go by, because you almost always get attacked by something. And the enemies here are so cool. They're not just cool, but some of them also give you really cool loot, like this Verdant Gnarl here, which can drop Ember a lot, which you can use to make really cool weapons with. And then we have this guy here, a super awesome looking creature. The Voracious Hunger, and you can loot his tongue after you kill him. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with those guys. The first time I saw them, he was like, oh my god, this guy is so creepy. But he is out and it's sunny, so I think I would be way more creeped out if I would face him in a dark cave. Well, the other creatures that gave me the creepy crawlies are literally the creepy crawlies, like this guy, and there's lots of them. But they also have good loot, and if you have a bow, you can keep them at a distance, which is well advised. Come on, give me your soul. Come on. Bye. Oh, come on. I want my soul. Thank you. And while in the other world, I often drowned my enemies because I have a ring on that lets me be underwater forever, it did not work with those creatures. Those creatures can breathe underwater, so you have to just defend yourself. And then you see like really creepy guys that just kind of reminded me of maybe Borderlands or I don't know, even Fallout maybe. Super creepy guys. I was like, oh, I'm so glad they're dead. Well, until I actually ran into one and I was like, oh boy. Can I fight this dude? Oh yeah. I got my trusty bow. Not a problem at all. Boom, and he's down. And then you can also be assured that if you are an archer, really big scary robots are not really an issue if you have a good bow and some good arrows. And this is really just a bow with fire damage, which probably doesn't really affect this guy much at all, but the arrows do. And I'm just using, I think at this point I just use like silver or steel arrows. That was before I found like really cool arrows. And yeah, you know, I mean, look at it, just chipping away. He has a really long sword, so I'm trying to stay at a distance and just kind of use my jumping function here. And this is why the bow is so amazing, because you can just keep a distance. You don't have to like get a lot of the hits if you do this really well, and they're down. And that's why it's also good to go back and forth to the DLC, because you find some really good armor. Like this one looks so cool. I was so tempted to switch to it, but the stats weren't working for me really. I still wanted to keep my other armor, but I was very tempted. It's got really good stats on it, and some people may really love it. But overall, you just find the most amazing armor that you can then bring back into the main game and finish the main game with this armor. Here's, for example, a golden armor, but this was just a no for me because just this one piece weighs 126. But I still brought it back with me just for keepsake, and who knows. And then of course this helmet, which I wore quite a bit, and it actually was pretty helpful. And I thought, wow, this helmet with this armor looks amazing. So yeah, you find some really cool stuff in this DLC. And after I finished the game, I wanted to tie off some little side quests I had left. I needed to find some wine bottles in forts, so I found this fort over there, and I was like, oh, I haven't seen this fort yet. Let's go and check it out. Hopefully there is some wine. When I got in, I was greeted with a new quest, and I'm like, what? So it turned out this quest was not a quest, it was a DLC, another DLC called the Unearthing Maroon's Razor. So I'm like, oh my god, I was completely unaware of this. You get to a door that you need to find out how to open, and then once you open it, you end up in a humongous dungeon with many ways to go and tons of new enemies that are actually pretty tough, especially when they attack you in hordes and with lots of magic going on. So the other thing is you can't really leave once you're in here. So bring health potions and all the magic that you need, and of course repair hammers. And this is actually the first time I used a summon ever in this game after finishing the game. Only in this DLC. This summon is from the Shivering Island DLC, and he actually came in quite handy a couple of times. And at the end, you fight this guy that supposedly is like the vampire knight, the vampire of all vampires. So yeah, bring some vampire protection so you don't get sick from them. And then you just take him down with your bow. Super easy. And you get this Maroon's Razor, which supposedly takes out enemies instantly, which I kind of thought wasn't true, but yeah, you get that. You can see the stats here. And then you can also loot his hood, his gauntlets, I think that was his, and then his cloak. And they're also pretty valuable if you just want to sell them. Look what I got. Isn't that cool? Huh? Oh, I did not mean to do that. I thought I was far enough away from you. I am so sorry. Oh no, he's bleeding. Oh, he's never gonna forgive me. Oh man, I am so sorry. It says adoring fan is running. I don't see him running, but he sure has a stern look on his face. Oh man, my bad. How can I make this good? I think I just lost him for good. Oh man, this so sucks. No, please don't hate me. Please. Oh, what am I gonna do? Do I have to restart the game? Well, I walked out the door, and here he was.
Oh, great and
His happy self.
Is there something you need? Can I carry
I
it?
am so glad he's not mad at me. And there's of course no Bethesda game without glitches and bugs and stuff. So the most annoying one was this one. Many times I was in a bow fight, I just got kicked out. And it didn't always happen during the fight, sometimes it happened right after, but I sure made it a habit to constantly save even during a fight. Boom, I'm out again. I'm really the queen of getting under the map in all the games I play, basically, and it happened here too. No exception. This was the only one it happened to me. Actually, it was on the Shivering Island DLC, and it was like right over here. So be careful. But the one bug that did not happen to me all game until I came back to do some side quests is this bug. Can you see? I feel like I'm humongous. I'm hitting my head here. I can't even get into my door. I am so tall. What is going on? Look at even my fan is tiny and my head is in the ceiling, and when I jump I can actually see outside the map. Isn't that creepy? I was like, oh boy, I broke the game. Well, I'm glad this didn't happen before I finished the game, but I literally broke it. Can I fix it? Well, I had to do some Googling, of course. And it was suggested that you go into third person, save, back out of the game, get back into the game, which actually does fix the game. And then you are a normal size again, not this tall. But then there's also some really fun little glitches like this one. And they're always funny to see, not game breaking, nothing at all. Maybe just an opportunity to take a photo. And the very last side quest I finished was this one that I started at the beginning of the game, but it took me so long to actually find what she was looking for.
Welcome back. Any luck on those bottles of Shadow Banished wine yet? I'm at a loss for words. You actually found 6! These will hold an honored place in my collection. I don't know what else to say, but thank you.
And you get $1,000 for doing that, and if you bring her more wine, you get more money. So really good to do at the beginning of the game, I guess. And if you don't know yet, you can find this quest here by the entrance to the bridge to the Imperial City. So once I decided I was done with the game, I basically had this left. Some of them are just things that are going on that you can do over and over, and some of them I'm ranked too high, I can't do it. So it's not important, it was just little side quests. But that's it. I am done. I am very sad. So this is the end of this video and also the end of this game for me. I don't know if I ever will come back. I don't know if they're gonna add more stuff. Most likely not, but I pretty much did everything there is to do and saw everything. It was an absolutely amazing journey. I would highly recommend this to anyone who likes adventure games. And the game is definitely not too hard, not like Elden Ring, for example, but it gives you the same amount of exploration and just fun and magic and everything that you can imagine. It has a pretty steep learning curve if you're new to Elder Scrolls games, but you just take your time, don't rush it. Just, there's a lot of things you can Google too, but make sure you find things out on your own. I pretty much wanted to find out everything on my own without looking it up, because then you feel so much more fulfilled at the end. So I hope you enjoyed this last video for Oblivion here. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, ask any questions you want, and subscribe if you haven't yet. And I hope to see you next time when we play another game. Until then, happy gaming, take care, bye bye.